Hello everybody, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports again, coming to you today to preview and predict the grandest stage of them all, the biggest show of the year, the granddaddy of them all, the showcase of the Immortals, Wrestlemania 29, which takes place on April 7th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And you know, WrestleMania is always considered the biggest wrestling event of the year for just in general. It's been that way for 29 years. And this year is no different. We have a very, very, very stacked lineup this year. I'm actually quite impressed with what WWE's kind of put together here for this year. So with that being said, I'm going to get right down to business. As JR would say, business is picking up. And I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way to the top. First match to be discussed would be the 8-person mixed tag. It's going to feature the Bella Twins, Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes, taking on Brodus Clay, Tensai, who's being called Sweet Tea now, and then the Funkadactyls of Cameron and Naomi. And I actually really like this match because it's gonna be, I believe, only the 4th time in WrestleMania history that a mixed tag is taking place. The other 3 times, WrestleMania 6 was Randy Savage and Sherry versus Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire. WrestleMania 10, you had Doink and Dink versus Bam Bam and Luna. And I believe it was WrestleMania 15, or 14, excuse me. WrestleMania 14, Mark Merrill and Sable versus Goldust and Luna. So, those are the 3 that come to mind. If there's others, I apologize, but I was doing my history and those are the only 3 I could find. I really, really, really think it'll be a good match. I mean, I don't expect it to be some epic encounter, but you know, Brodus and Damian and Cody, a little bit more than Tensai, have been kind of mainstays on Raw and SmackDown over the last year. So you know, it'll be an entertaining match. I have a feeling to have a lot of comedy involved, and I really think you're going to see the, you know, Cameron and Naomi really showcase what they're about. So, really looking forward to that match. Next match to talk about, it's kind of put together at the last minute. I honestly didn't see it coming. Chris Jericho versus Fandango. Okay, you know, I'm not so sure about this Fandango gimmick. I like Johnny Curtis when he was wrestling as Johnny Curtis. He's got a great look. He's got a great skill set in the ring. I always do kind of find it funny though that, you know, he's trained by Killer Kowalski, or was trained by Killer Kowalski, and I'd tell you, something about Killer Kowalski students, they always start off having a really, really annoying gimmick. I mean, you got Fandango, you got Damian Sandow, and even Triple H was pretty annoying when he first started. But, you know, I think this is a good opportunity to help get a younger star into the spotlight. I think it's a great opportunity to showcase the future. Chris Jericho has a very, very good way of putting younger superstars over and making them look good. I think Chris Jericho is a lot like what Shawn Michaels was towards the end of his career, helping young guys get over and having outstanding matches and so forth and so on. So that match I'm actually I'm interested to see how it goes. Because I think if Fandango performs really well, I think he's going to get a push. If he doesn't perform well, you're probably going to see him disappear. So, next, talk about the first title match of WrestleMania that will probably be happening. It'd be the tag team title match. Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane versus Big E Langston and Dolph Ziggler. And at first, I didn't understand why they made this match. Dolph, to me, should have been in a singles match, highlighting his skills. A lot of people thought it'd be Dolph Ziggler versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, but that didn't turn out to be so. I think Team Hell No will retain. I think there's bigger plans for Dolph than holding the tag titles. I wouldn't be shocked to see Dolph Ziggler cash in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, because nobody's actually cashed it in at WrestleMania yet. So it'd be kind of curious to see if they played it off or not. So I do expect it to be a good match. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of in-ring time from Daniel Bryan and Dolph, who both have great ability in the ring. But it's also kind of cool how the two high flyers and the two agile men each have like a powerful guy as their partner. That's something you don't see too often. So, tag team match, it'll be good. With Dolph and Daniel highlighting it, I think it'll be good. Next was just made recently. Is the Intercontinental Championship. Wade Barrett, the Intercontinental Champion, versus The Miz. And I'm really surprised that The Miz didn't get it. Like, I'm not saying this isn't a big match for The Miz. I think it's a really good match for The Miz. But The Miz, to me, I've been saying this since the latter part of 2012, that the world title match at WrestleMania should have been The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, mainly because they both have strong personalities, they both have a lot of charisma. But you know, I've noticed over the recent months that Wade Barrett is starting to develop a very, big personality and starting to have his own little charisma thing going on. And I really think Wade and The Miz can do each other a huge favor in this match and have an excellent title match to get them where they need to be. Because, trust me when I say this, The Miz deserves to be WWE Champion again. Wade Barrett definitely deserves to be a World Heavyweight Champion. They're both great in the ring, and both, I think, the TV matches, they're going okay. But I think you're going to see a really great match out of them at WrestleMania. And I really hope so for their sake. So, nice to see the Intercontinental title being defended at WrestleMania a little more often. Because for a while, the Intercontinental title was not defended. So, great to see the most prestigious title, in my opinion, being defended at WrestleMania. The other tag match that's being heavily talked about is The Shield versus Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show. And a lot of people are talking about this match because Orton's supposed to turn heel. Orton's supposed to stab the other two in the back. I don't think Randy Orton is the one that's turning heel. I honestly think that Sheamus is going to turn heel. I've noticed over the last few weeks on TV that Sheamus has had kind of like the tendencies of a heel, and picking fights, and just, I don't know. I just have this feeling that it's not going to be Orton. I also have a feeling that The Shield is going to get the win to even further, their status in the WWE. I think The Shield's going to be even more powerful than they already are. I do, however, think that at some point in 2013, they need to break the Shield up, and the only reason I say that is because Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are so phenomenal on their own. And I've never really watched Roman Reigns very much, but I have followed Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, especially Seth Rollins when he was Tyler Black, and Seth Rollins is definitely a major player in the future in WWE, and so is Dean Ambrose. So I think in the long run, a Shield victory would benefit the three men and benefit the company in trying to make bigger stars. So, with that being said, now we get to a match that a lot of people are very unsure of. Ryback versus Mark Henry. Now, there's someone that said a while back, and this comment really pissed me off. Somebody said that Ryback versus Mark Henry will be nothing more than what Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar was at WrestleMania 20. First off, that is the most asinine comment I've ever heard, and I will tell you why. Because when Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar fought at WrestleMania 20, they were both leaving the company the next day. Nobody cared, about what first off, nobody cared about what Goldberg and Lesnar were doing. And secondly, Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg didn't care. They were getting a huge payday for being there. It was WrestleMania 20, one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time, just because of the number behind it. But Goldberg and Lesnar sucked. I still consider it the worst match in WrestleMania history. Some people consider Hogan versus Warrior the worst match. Hogan versus Warrior looked like $1 million compared to Goldberg and Lesnar. Then here's the difference between all of it. Mark Henry and Ryback love the business. Okay, they love being in pro wrestling. Goldberg wasn't in it for the money. Goldberg didn't care. And that was the problem with Bill Goldberg, is he had such an ego in WCW that when he finally got to WWE and they set him straight, he didn't like it. But guess what? Ryback, Mark Henry, both love the business, both want to succeed, both want to perform at the highest level. So I can guarantee you that Mark Henry and Ryback are going to have a hell of a lot better match than Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Who wins? I don't know. My heart tells me Ryback, but I really think Mark Henry deserves to get a major push again. That's just my opinion. And speaking of Brock Lesnar, no holds barred. Triple H versus Lesnar. 2. The rematch. When I saw a few weeks ago when Triple H busted Lesnar open, whether it was accidental or purposely, I saw something I haven't seen in a while. The fans going nuts over blood. And I hate to say it, but this match is not going to be successful if it doesn't have blood. They need to beat the hell out of each other. They need to make this one of the bloodiest fights you've ever seen. Because that's what people are expecting. When Triple H split Lesnar open, people are expecting blood in this match. Not some damn armbar submission. Just... It needs to be a good old-fashioned no-holds-barred match. And I really think that this match will be maybe it could probably be the best match on the card. But we will see. I really think that Lesnar still has a lot to prove. I think Triple H still has a lot to prove that he can be the great performer that he's been for a long time. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. If there's blood, I think it'll be good. If there's no blood, match is a failure. Simple as that. So, now, the next match, that's got me torn. Brock Lesnar manager Paul Heyman will be busy on WrestleMania. Not only will he be managing Brock, he'll be managing CM Punk as well. CM Punk versus The Undertaker. They feuded a little bit back in 2009 over the world title. And great matches, feud ended too quickly. This, I think, if The Undertaker's in shape, could be the best match on the card. And I tell you why, because it's personal. At least the storyline, it's made it's personal. It's personal in terms of the storyline. You know, and I don't mean to sound sadistic, but Paul Bearer dying made this match mean more than it would have if you didn't. And I know that's sad to say. It's it's a very horrible thing to say. But really, if you really think about it, what would have been the direction of this feud if Paul Bearer was still alive? You know, if William Moody was still alive. We don't know. But that urn that CM Punk stole from The Undertaker and Kane, that is the symbol of the match. It's not about the streak anymore. It's about a legacy. It's not just about The Undertaker's legacy. It's about Paul Bearer's legacy. And I really, really think this match is going to be heated. It's going to have a lot of emotion. It's going to be one hell of a match. And I'm a huge CM Punk fan. But to me, the streak is the most sacred thing in wrestling left. You break The Undertaker's streak, you might as well kill wrestling. Because, wrestling's had a lot of sacred things in its time. A lot of those sacred things are gone. A lot of the tradition is gone. Don't end The Undertaker streak. I don't think it will happen, but the place will probably riot if The Undertaker streak got broke. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good match. So I'm looking forward to it. It's probably the one match that I'm looking forward to the most. So, stay tuned. Now the two big title matches. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. And I gotta tell you, and a lot of people would probably hate me for saying this, but this title match interests me a hell of a lot more than the WWE title match. I love what Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter are doing. They are saying what everybody wants to say, but doesn't have the balls to. And Vince and the creative gave them the characters to say what a lot of people want to say. I'm not saying I agree with their views. I'm not saying that what they're saying is right. But I guarantee you, they are speaking for a lot of people that don't have the guts to speak up. And a lot of people are getting offended. I mean, they've even attacked Glenn Beck, for God's sakes. I think, it's like I said to somebody a while back, John Cena, The Rock, is the selling point, but Del Rio, Swagger, has more interest. and it goes beyond that world title. It goes beyond human. I mean, you talk about human interest, you talk about racism, talk about immigration, economics, politics, all of the things that people get heated about are in this feud between Swagger and Del Rio. And Dutch Mantel, Zeb Coulter, one of the best talkers in the business. And I love how he's made Jack Swagger one of the most hated villains in wrestling in a long time. Because let's face it, people, Swagger's hated. Jack Swagger's hated. There's no doubt about that now. Jack Swagger's one of the best heels in WWE now because of Zeb Coulter. So, I don't, do I think Swagger should win? Yes. Do I think he's going to? Probably not. Only because of his personal problems he had recently, but that's another topic for another day. But I expect a very, very, very good, high-quality match out of both men. Then there's the big one. What was supposed to be once in a lifetime has happened again. The Rock versus John Cena. Now, I can tell you this much. Out of all 10 matches on the pay-per-view that have been announced, I could care less about this. I really could. Because it's been done. And my own personal feeling is that their match at WrestleMania 28 absolutely sucked. It really did. And I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm really, really looking forward to John Cena being able to say, the champ is here. I would hope to God that WWE would make it so John Cena goes over on The Rock. If for some reason they decide to let The Rock win this match, dumb. Very, very dumb. And like I said, this match has no interest to me. It's just about two egos colliding. There's no human interest. There's no great storyline out of it. I'll tell you what would make it perfect, though, is if John Cena turned heel. That's what they need to do to make it interesting. Because to be honest with you, I could care less about what happens in that match. Only except for the fact that I hope Cena wins the title again. But, it is what it is. Vince wanted it, so I guess he got it. But I can tell you right now, WrestleMania 29, I'm not watching it because of The Rock versus John Cena. I'm watching it because of Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger, Undertaker versus Punk, Brock versus Triple H, Ryback versus Mark Henry, The Shield versus, Big Show, Sheamus, and Orton. I'm watching it for those matches. Those matches actually mean something. The Rock versus Cena, that's just the tool to make money, to get people to buy the pay-per-view. Thank God. A guy like Fandango is going to benefit from The Rock and Cena main eventing because he's going to get exposure. Guys like Wade Barrett and Miz and Brodus Clay and Cody and everybody. Everybody's going to benefit from it for getting exposure because of The Rock versus Cena. But, Cena will win. The Rock will go away, apparently, again, probably. Even though I've heard he's scheduled for Extreme Rules. But something big better happen in that WWE title match. Because if not, It's another wasted main event. So I'm going to say this, like I said before. Rock Cena 2 better be the last one. Because they sucked last year. And I'll say what nobody else wants to say. Nobody's talking about their match last year. Nobody cared about their match last year. When people think WrestleMania 28, people think Triple H versus The Undertaker with Hell in a Cell. Simple as that. WrestleMania 29 will be no different. They'll be talking about Triple H Lesnar, CM Punk Taker, Del Rio versus Swagger. They'll be talking about that. They won't be talking about Cena versus Rock. Mark my words. So with that being said, that's my WrestleMania preview. That's my predictions. It's my thoughts. I'm really disappointed that, that guys like Antonio Cesaro, Kofi Kingston, and a few others aren't on the card, or at least haven't been announced. But I figure 10 matches are probably going to stop there. So, who knows? With that being said, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, reminding you as always, controversy doesn't come without criticism. And me, yours truly, Hollywood Joe, your source for all things sports. Thanks, guys, and have a good day.